Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there, and so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Well, over to you. Thanks for coming on and chatting about this amazing new album of yours. It comes out in a few days. It's like what, the 21st of March it comes out.
Yes, yeah, Friday.
Friday. Crazy, eh? And all that effort you put into it, and suddenly now it's going to go into the world and be heard, which is a wonderful thing, right?
Yes, it'll go in and fix it. Yeah, I mean, it was delivered to the record company last July, so it
God.
then delivered a bit late. So I think it had to um, be slotted into the launch schedule. Um, so yeah, I'm getting a second wind on the record because obviously was bored shitless of it after all that time working on it. Um, and now I love it again, just because I've taken a step back from it.
Yeah, it's a cracking album. I mean, it's your 14th studio album, which is I can't believe it's 14 albums, mate. I remember when the first one came out. I remember buying the first one. It's like 14 years ago, like 14 albums, sorry.
Well, yeah, and
Um,
that's without Bittersweets and Vampire as well.
Mm. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. So quite a lot of stuff you've got to listen to, I can imagine. But this new album is a real. I've listened to it about three or four times now, and every time I listen to it, I hear something different, mate. Okay, which is always the case with your stuff. You know, it's never stays still.
Creepy. What do you
Um,
say?
yeah, yeah, but like it's a real sort of homage to all your. I feel so I can look back in with reverence. Is that what you're getting with this album? You
Well, it
sort of
wasn't the intention, no. But
no.
well, no, I mean it's a good thing, isn't it's accoladious, which
Mm.
is made.
I'm
Um,
going to use it though.
yeah. Well, obviously the production is very modern. It's
Oh
it's
yeah,
a step in the right direction for us, always looking forward. But there is one eye on the past, I suppose, and that could have been because of fresh blood in the band, or it could be the fact that we've been touring like crazy since the pandemic in
yeah,
an
yeah,
secluded way to satiate all of our fans worldwide. And yeah, I don't know. When we write, we don't have a checklist. We don't sit down and go, you know what, we should possibly do an album in this vein. You know, um, it just comes naturally, and then after two or three songs that you've picked your stride, and you wait till you get two or three that actually sound like they're part of something,
mm.
and then you're veering into Dutch techno or some
Yeah,
other hideous subgenre of
yeah, yeah. Because it's like I mean I was listening to it like the first two tracks on the album. Of course, you've got a new singer, female singer in Zoe. And you've got a new guitarist as well in Donny. And I was listening to the first two tracks, and don't get me wrong when I say this because I love this band, but I heard lots of Sabbath in it, or Sabbat, or how you like to pronounce it. I was listening to it and I thought, my God, that's reminding me of Dreamweaver.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
not a bad thing.
No, it's a wonderful thing because I bloody
Hopefully
love
the
that album.
production's Dreamweaver
Oh God, yeah.
though.
Well, yes, of course, anything's better. The production is terrible, but the album itself, it just sonically it reminded me slightly of that.
That
No,
was one
it's
of the few. That was, I think, the only album I ever actually stole from a shop was Dreamweaver on cassette. I'm ashamed to admit I stole something, but then I'm not because it was a killer album.
Oh yeah, look, mate, I picked up in our price when they used to exist, and I didn't know anything about them. I just saw the cover. I went, oh yeah, this looks bloody amazing. Took it home and blew my socks off. So like it
Yeah.
was, it's like,
What are we talking about now? Dreamweaver.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I was. What was the second album called?
Oh, that was the second
Oh
out. The
no, that
first
was
album,
Dreamweaver.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah. First album was History of a Time to Come.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did steal Dreamweaver. You're right.
yeah. I'm sure the influences flow through you in some way or another, right? But
Well,
it,
obviously, we worked with Andy Sneap. Now, Andy Sneap of Dreamweaver fame is
mm,
with
Judas
Priest.
Priest, yeah, yeah,
Priest, yeah.
brilliant guitarist, great producer, like, but your this album here, though, feels like I was talking to someone about it yesterday when we were chatting to a friend of mine. That sounds like it looks like a really good entry point for people that don't know the band. I mean, how you cannot know the band is beyond me, but there'll be people out there, young people who wouldn't have come into your music, and this is a good way in because it sort of, as I said, that sort of look back slightly. It helps to sort of satiate the old fans and bring in the new ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
hopefully.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a beautifully dynamic sound. So dark, I love it. Damn it. It's so far. It's so dark. It's so almost all what's the word say? No, I can't think of the word. Orchestral. You know?
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, definitely there's, we've always been aligned with a cinematic.
Yeah, well, that's the
Um,
right word. Cinematic. That's probably the right word. Yeah.
yeah, but not overly so on this record that I mean, there's plenty going on, but there's not
Mm.
so much. It just becomes a hideous mess. We realised the mantra "less is more"
Oh yeah.
is important, and we've really looked into um, specific sounds, weird sounds that not necessarily organic or you know pilfered from an orchestra. So yeah, we've just tried to do everything as best we can to make this a killer record. Another thing we employed was the thing not to do a special edition or any bonus material, remixes or what have you. We just
Mm.
wanted to deliver um, a classified ad-free album. No
Wonderful. Yeah.
intro, no outro that would be named, no intermission in the middle. No bonus tracks. It was weird because the last record was so well received, but the unifying complaint, which was only, albeit small, but it was a complaint nonetheless, was um, that the album was great, but if there was a small bugbear, that the album was 2 songs too long, and those 2 songs too long were indeed bonus material. Which, when you're writing an album, and you don't write to write bonus. I don't know if anybody else does. But we're going to write a B. Oh God, we've got to write 2 more songs. So let's write them in a B style way.
Oh
We
yes.
all our children are loved equally, and so we write equally. And so those it was just basically 16 minutes that could have gone on to another record.
Yeah. But don't you think though
I just
that's
find it's a weird thing to moan about having too
yeah,
much material, but I get it.
crazy.
So this time we just delivered what they used to do in the 70s and 80s. There you go.
Yep.
There's your album.
Yeah, well, that's right. A and B, right? With CDs came along and suddenly you could put an hour and 20 or something on it, and you'll fill it with the material that you probably didn't really need to fill it with. But
Yeah.
when you've got limitations because vinyl was back now, because you have limitations, you have to compact it to the best that you can get it. And I think that's probably it's what a strange complaint. I have to say,
I know,
that's the
right?
first I've heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. There were actually 10 songs on the album, and the producer, Scott Atkins, was quite adamant that this song wasn't quite there. I wanted to pursue it. I'd written the lyrics. I liked the lyrics, and I'd written them. God damn it!
Yeah.
Uh, and I had an ideology that it would improve with time. But I acquiesced. He was right, and subsequently the album is literally there's 4 songs on one side, 5 on the other, but there's a matter of seconds difference between two because I guess longer songs on the second side. That's
Yeah.
uh, that's physics. That.
Yeah. But also your songs don't, I mean you don't write 3 minute songs anyway. I mean they're a journey unto
Oh, God
themselves.
knows. I wish we did. I wish we did because it would make picking a set list so much easier.
Oh my God, yeah. Can you imagine on 14 albums, a set list plus other oh my God. Yeah, I don't envy you on that one. I suppose with the new album you could just play lots of the new stuff and then throw in some stuff from the first albums. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it still would. Yeah, it's still tricky.
Yeah, you're always going to get fans that are want. I mean, there's always one or two, isn't there? Going to be whatever
Yeah,
you do. You can't please everyone, but you have to
no,
please
no, it's
yourself.
absolutely not. And you could write the best album in the world. I've loved, and people would still hate it, and vice versa. The worst album, and people would, it's a work for Oasis on everything they've ever done. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, you can't please everybody. And I've learned to, in my wisdom, my old age, I've learned to realize that. And so, with that in mind, we write for ourselves
Good.
with a nod to the fans, of course, because we don't want to disappoint them. Um, but yeah, essentially, I don't give two shits about other people's opinions anymore about our music.
And you
Yeah,
say
it's
you
more
should, so you shouldn't. Yeah, mate. You guys are groundbreaking. Like what you did back in '91, um, from the UK particularly. It was something so deliciously new and wonderful and so unexpected at that time. So like you have no one to to please but yourselves, my friend. You've
and
given
I do
us
like
yeah.
pleasing myself.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, we've 14. I said like all those years that you've been in the industry, you've seen it all. It's not like it's not your first rodeo.
No,
Um, and you've seen the way the music industry has changed, and the way that we consume music has changed. And I just think that you don't need to give a fuck about anyone personally, mate. Just we love it. I'm sure that that the audience is going to love this album. It's going to go down like a storm, you know. And hopefully you tour it over into Australia.
there'll be no danger of that this year, I don't think. I mean, we only came last year, but we definitely have
I
plans.
know.
We've been
Mm.
talking to our booking agent over there, and we've got big plans. We may even come over as part of a package that
Mm.
we're brewing up as we speak.
Nice, nice. Well, that'll be something to look forward to. Because again, you do. I mean, when you come here, it always seems to go down well. The audiences
It
absolutely
was
love you
really
here.
brilliant last. Yeah, it was brilliant last time. Mostly sold out. Like I think, yeah, literally 98% sold out. Um, most of the shows, but we were only there for like a week.
Yeah, I
We
know.
played 5 shows
Yeah.
and and I was like, how did that even happen? And the one day we had off, we didn't actually get to the hotel till like bar 5.
Oh,
And yeah, so we had like an evening off the first day we arrived, and then straight off again at the end. And I was like, wow, that was a whirlwind romance.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And
a long
no
way.
relaxing on the Gold Coast for us.
Yeah, it's a long way to come. I mean, I
It
always say that
was.
to fans.
We became direct because originally it was supposed to be part of. I think it got redirected from the beginning of the year, where we were supposed to go to China, um, Hong Kong, Japan, Indonesia. I think maybe the Philippines, and then China didn't happen again for whatever reason. And yeah, then it just got moved. I think that was it anyway.
Yeah, well, you're huge in Japan.
So we just did it on its own. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was a lot of jet lag.
yeah, but honestly, yeah. By the time you've got over it, I was just saying to someone earlier, that flight can't be good for your voice. You got to jump off the plane and get onto it. Like that's a long way to come for in that rarefied air up there. You know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, but you're a professional. It comes up again. Oh, your voice is amazing on this album. Back to sort of segue into the voice. Love what you're doing on this album. Uh,
Right.
yeah, I love all the nuances as always with your stuff. It's a textured and interesting thing. There's a lot of like I wrote death and roll on there for some reason on my notes. I was trying to think of like what kind of influences I was hearing from it, but there's lots of new kind of sounds in there. Like Death and Roll, I wrote old school influences, black and thrash, all this sort of stuff. It's all in there. It's something for
Well, I think it's
everyone.
just again, it's not a checklist. I think it's
No,
just
it
you
just
write
happens. Yeah,
and I mean, we always start with a big map because we're obviously universally based as a band now. Two Americans, well, three Americans now that Ashok has moved to Arizona. Um, One Czech and two British people, one of which lives in Scotland, and I live down south in England. So Dropbox is our go-to mode of like assimilating riffs and
Mm.
then building songs from there. We've got plenty of time to do that. We literally been living in each other's pockets for the last 4 years. Um, so yeah, and hotel rooms and rehearsal spaces and what have you. And yeah, I guess we just whatever works to make a song work.
Yeah,
It's at the end of the day.
yeah, and
Thankfully, techno or anything like that, but yeah, a fair bit of new wave of British heavy metal, some black metal, some death metal stuff, I guess. Again, whatever it takes.
it's interesting. It's like fine wine, I suppose. You can smell anything you want, taste whatever you want in fine wine. So in wines in general, I suppose it's same with music. You can hear what you hear. It may not necessarily be what you desired to put in there or thought you'd put in there. Everyone has a different opinion of it, I suppose. But um, I just think it's a great album, and I love the artwork, by the way. I mean,
Perfect.
always
Yeah,
you
yeah,
always amazing art. I mean, your stuff is never um, disappointing, but this particular one. Yeah, it's on
yeah,
point.
we're really lucky. It was almost as if he found us. I was looking for an artist, stumbled upon this guy, Roberto Diaz, and yeah, he delivered the goods. I mean, I gave him all the lyrics and said, "You translate it as you will." And obviously went backward and forwards
Mm,
with bits, and he did the artwork for the whole booklet. And it's not that we were disappointed with or changed our mind about our previous artists, but
mm,
that was kind of the nuclear blast years. He Artur's Bazinch, he he did three albums for us, and they
mm,
were amazing. But with a new record label, it felt like new danger, new blood, new ideologies, and dress it up and newly as well.
mm.
Yeah, and I love the cover. It's great.
Yeah, it's got a real, I mean, I had to say, it's got a real stickiness to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's got a real sort of viscous feel when you look at it. Like, it really does have the album, it sort of sums the album up really well, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah, yeah.
sticky.
It's sticky.
Yeah,
It does. As that kind, that kind of, in Hellraiser when what's his name's going through the floor. Yeah, that kind of viscosity to it, right? It has that. So for me, I like it. I can imagine that being quite sticky. Danny, sorry, I don't know. I've gone off on a weird tangent, but that's what I was looking at, going, yeah, that's quite Dungeon-esque. I like it. Um, but anyway, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting. I know it's late over there. You probably had a long day. It's a brilliant album. I'm sure it's going to go absolutely gung ho, and I'm sure that you're going to love playing it live.
there should be another single coming out.
Oh,
I don't know when. It's being worked on at the moment. So they're like a visualizer, but it's a bit can be a bit more than that. It's
mm,
because I don't like putting out shit videos, and I try and steer away from lyric videos because I just think they're a bit. I know why people do them because there's a lack of money, a lack of funds to spunk it all on
yeah.
expensive videos. Um,
He says,
uh, but yeah, at the same time, I just think it's a little bit, like how many lyric videos I've seen. My favorite one was actually the one I did with Bring Me the Horizon with that Wonderful Life because they had this. They had, their record company said, "We want you to do a lyric video for this song," and they were like, "We could do something weirder with that." And then
yes.
I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's a thing again. Another thing that is lost in the world of modern music is that video. I mean, there's always videos out there, and because we don't sell singles anymore, you don't have to make the effort in some respects. I don't think
I
some
know it's
bands.
really weird. I don't get music anymore. I do get music. That sounds really old now, but
Yeah,
I don't get platforms.
no,
When I was young, it was like there's the Gallup charts, the charts. It's
yes, top of the
100.
pops. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. And I at Christmas, my brother always puts on. We religiously, we always have, it would be one day at least, and it's usually the day after Boxing Day, which so happens to be my stepdad's birthday as well. So it's ruined by the fact they have to have the top 100. You know, it's like the top 100 countdown to Christmas, or the top
Oh,
100 80s Christmas singles, or the top 100 rock ballads from the 80s. You know, one of them, and he'll watch it. It'll be on all day,
oh,
and we the same thing happened. I think it was a rock ballad or the rock, you know, best rock songs of the 80s, and we went to do a pub quiz, and he got really fretful that we would not find out. So he was ringing people, please go on channel whatever it was and go and look for this. I want to know who the top 10 are.
oh my God. Do you know what? Oh, those sort of videos, it's interesting. I have a theory that they all lead to Queen.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. And In Excess was all over the place.
Yeah,
So fuck, In Excess aren't rock. They not. It was, you know, it was supposed to be rock,
right. Yeah.
and In Excess just kept popping up all over the place. It was like, the fuck.
What was that when that Hall of Fame, Rock Hall of Fame, which I don't care for, Beyonce was in the list?
I know, right?
Really? Are you scraping the barrel that low that you've got to think that Beyonce is a rock star? Like,
Exactly. It's like leave us to our own pathetic
yeah,
subgenre. Stop
yeah,
effect.
yeah. You don't appropriate our culture. We won't appropriate yours. That's the key, isn't it? It's like when you go around and you see someone. I see a lot over here in Australia. When they're wearing band shirts, they've bought in like some kind of jean shop. They have no idea. It's got Motorhead or Iron Maiden on it, and you think, oh, I know it's the band and they're selling their shirts, but you know, it
Yeah, I
is
get it.
painful. We had a family friend, honest is the truth, whose their daughter thought Nirvana was a clothing brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just like, I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, I feel old. Like my wife had to work with someone in an office who didn't know who David Bowie was when he died. I kid you not.
That's crazy.
I said that's parental abuse. What is that? That's
Yeah,
that's that's
that is,
neglect.
yeah, neglect.
Oh well. Wait. Well, anyway. I could talk all day. Sorry to keep you, but thanks for coming on. Enjoy your evening. It looks lovely and warm and cozy over there. Really.
Well, I'm actually walking to my partner's house now because uh, she's going to sort out my hair. I've got a Kerrang interview tomorrow at the radio.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
I mean, it's almost midnight. No. What am I on about? I just haven't put my clock back from last year. It's almost 11 o'clock. And I should imagine it's going to take a couple of hours, and I've got to be up really early to get a train to London.
Oh
So,
God. Oh, I'll let you go then, my friend. But I've got Kerrang. I love Kerrang, man. Fantastic.
yeah.
It was one of my things as a child. Be on Metal Hammer or be in Kerrang. One of those
I
two.
don't know if you, yeah, me too. Yeah, obviously. And, but I don't know if you'd recognize it nowadays.
Probably
The
not.
printed, the printed version of it, you know, like the
Yeah, yeah,
magazine,
yeah.
um, is considerably different.
Oh, yeah. It's like Fangoria. Fangoria changed as well, and it wasn't the same. Like we'll see. I suppose I think we're looking back with old man
Yeah,
eyes with
rose
rose
tinted.
tinted glasses. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Well, I'll let you go. Enjoy your hair, having your hair done, and good luck. Good luck with Kerrang. All right.
All right, thank you.
No worries, man.
Take it
Bye.
easy.